Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I just want to have this as a generic civil justice sign off. Whatever I want for the civil justice, for I am displaying the USA government errors, public sector errors, private sector errors, and how USA government operations got destroyed, and for displaying the Absolute-Monarchs scandal. I, Vethapriya PROSE, wanted these civil justice to be provided to me. Okay, so I'll just read the sign off so that it will be in all these other sessions. Okay, so for I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, and true owner of USA, and proved USA is Tamil Nadu, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, have highest impasse eligibility to lead USA. I must be the interim leader of USA now is civil justice served. And for I, Vethapriya PROSE, displayed USA government errors and the scandal of Absolute-Monarchs to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, for civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want United States of America nation to rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu, India, after my name Vethapriya is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become the Vatican leader now is civil justice served. And Pope Francis resigns abruptly now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations, now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Family Law and Supreme Chief Children Judge for all nations is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Department of Children Families, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Export, Department of Military in all nations across the globe is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to be the ambassador for all nations, starting with India, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, should get dual citizenship of USA and India now is civil justice served. And thank you all for your time. Take care, my dear fellow mankind. I sure will get civil justice for entire human kingdom in 1 minute. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now. USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans. I hope we are all on the same page on this regard. That I'm providing very, very crucial, very, very important civil justice sign off for myself, and it's a multitasking is the wisdom. With that said, what exactly is this civil justice all about? It is all about the billing and the payment. Okay, so I'm providing every crime on a breaking down in a layer by layer mode, right? So first on the retails is a hierarchy. Then we are seeing all the sub-classifications. Then we are working on the deadliest tax fraud crime provided by the credit card, the debit card, the gift cards, and different carriers, the different providers. Okay, now what happens after when we pay the credit card, the swiping part of it, there needs to be billing and the payment, right? So it's all been done on the behind the scenes, but I'm just providing the highest level of the overview of the scandal. I do not even have to know what systems and they are using the logics and the calculators, everything. But on the highest level, I can display that that is a crime. That's a tax fraud that is going on every checkpoint gateways. Got it? So the program logic, this is how it works. So, okay, after looking into every single card type and the card service providers type, then it comes to the billing and payment logic, algorithm logic. Okay, then it goes and check on each and every single type of billing types and every single type of payment types. So payment types are, it is my understanding, one is online, one is mobile using the applications, and one is the over the phone. Okay, but then these people, it all must be provided with excellent guidelines, right? How these services have to be provided to the consumers, right? But then the crime here is Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II and Roman province Jesuits organizations, the satanic organizations, and all the absolute monarchs. They educated these finance services not to provide healthy, the payment and billing services. Got it? So they are the ones I already educated, right? Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and Absolute Monarchs only mandated and educated all these finance services to provide highest interest rates, right? And, they can create whatever due date they want, right? And then these are all the factors where it's all involved in calculating your late fees, your interest rate, your premiums. So that means it is the Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth who destroyed the entire finance services. Got it? So we population never knew. We all get only the credit card, right? It looks fancy. It's a plastic card. But then it's only we have to, okay, one more time. What we have to do, the civilians start from the home, they commute in the car and they pay for the gasoline. They have to pass through the highways or the roadways, right? That means they must travel safe. And even after traveling with the heavy traffic or weather, snowy weather or rainy weather or whatever, or foggy weather, they have to drive safe. And then when they reach to the banking services, right, or grocery services, when they want to do the swipe their credit card or debit card or use a gift card, then there needs to be a process to be done. So that process is behind the scenes. Nobody knows, right? The population never knows because they are laymen after all. So that means in the cash counter, when our credit cards or debit cards or gift cards are swiped in, the system in the cash counter, right, they have their validation. They'll send those things back to the behind scenes. We cannot see them, right? But the cash counter people can see that. They only have that accessing given to them, right? According to their each and every single retail business processing. Okay. Now, what is a crime all about? The crime is all about every credit card or for gift card there is never expiration date, but credit card or the debit card, they have the expiration date or the renewal date or the cancel date or reissue date or reinstate date or rewrite date or new business effective date, like that. So whenever these processing are being made in the financial transactions, it all goes on this checkpoint only. Okay, checkpoint means what? Checking the date value. So it's going to check, it's going to do like this. The program logic will be written like this. Credit card billing due date, check. Credit card renewal date, check. Credit card expiration, check. Credit card cancel date, check. Credit card reissue date, check. Credit card instate date, check. Credit card rewrite date, check. Credit card new business effective date, check. Credit card late fees calculator, check. Credit card interest rate calculator, check. Credit card collections agency date, check. And payment types, check. Right? Payment types check means the subtypes are what? Payment type is a hierarchy. So payment types are pay it online, pay it using your mobile phone applications or any other third party applications or vendors, and then pay by phone. Right. On this, what is a crime? It is Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth only educated. Hey, banks, whenever the consumers are going to pay the monthly bills for over the phone, you provide them a fees, be it $1 or $2 or $3. So that means whenever people are not able to do the transactions for whatever reason, their personal reasons, they do not want to use the online transaction. They want to do it by phone, right? But then Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II educated the finance services, the banking sectors, telling that, hey, if at all the consumers, the civilians are going to do any billing payment by the phone, just provide $2 or $3 of fees to that. So that means if at all, let's say if there is a grocery of $50 worth of grocery, but then you have to pay that amount in the credit card down the road, 2 weeks from now, let's say, right? So January 1st, you are going to get that grocery of $30. January 15th, you want to pay the credit card for the credit card company, right? So when you are going to say to the credit card company, hey, I want to pay over my phone, then they say, oh, is it so? If you're going to pay over the phone, there's $2 or $1 or $1.50 or $1.99 service charge. So that means instead of $30, you'll be ending up paying $32 or $33. This is after you are paying sales tax, federal tax, and state tax. So that is the deadliest crime, isn't it? So that means they are just tearing down the human cells and drinking the blood. Can you see? Can you see? For gasoline, we have to pay sales tax, federal tax, state tax. Then for grocery items, we have to pay sales tax, federal tax, whatever tax, the 3 types of tax. Then when we swipe the credit card, that's a hidden fees for that. It is Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth only mandated the banking sectors to provide that way. Because whenever they're providing that way, that's all a root cause to create poverty. So people never knew, right? People were thinking it's just the swiping card because they're not seeing how much of transaction the money is getting transacted like that. It's all behind the scenes only. So then behind the scenes, these people are called as the software developers teams. Okay, the front end, the front office are the cashiers, which we see, which you and I go to the grocery stores and we see, or when we go walk into a banking local branch, we see they are called as a front office. Now, the behind the scenes people are the software developers and software teams. So they have to write the logic according to these dates only, date value. So then when they collect all these date value in their software logic, the algorithm, they all go validate against the today's date. Today's date means a timestamp. So they need that value. Okay. So when they get all these date values and they get checked with the today's value, the date value, and they build the logic after that. And that is how they provide, oh, you are late, so we cancelled your credit card. Oh, you are late in paying this bill, so we sent to the collections, like that. So that itself is a crime, right? That is a crime, absolute crime. So now can you all get it why Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks are the super absolute definition of the prostitutes? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. When they were busy providing the marketing for the masking for the COVID-19, they never provided how these financial services, the banks, banking sectors, and the retirement fund services, and any other mortgage services, any other rental association services will be able to relax, will be able to waive all these rules, right? Don't you all think so? That is the healthy, affordable medical health taxonomy coded standards. So they violated the medical law. Dr. Fauci, being a doctor, violated the medical law, isn't it? Dr. Brinks, being a doctor, violated the medical law. So that is a separate $1 trillion crime, right? It's the deadliest crime. They were only busy in actively marketing for the mask, but they left out a very important part of the, they should have educated how the nation, how United States of America is going to handle this particular important part of the billing and payment processing, right? But they never did that. Now, in all this COVID-19 plague, people were struggling with the finances, isn't it? One side people were getting laid off, one side people were thrown in the emotional torture, right? But these finance services, they never bothered to rewrite these logics according to the COVID-19 criteria. Got it? Can you please understand the severity of the crime I'm talking about? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. They missed out the financial banking sectors, right? The mortgage companies, the rental association companies, they all missed out on a very, very important software logic, right? And that directly traces to Dr. Fauci violated the medical standards, Dr. Banks violated the medical standards, and they provided endangerment for human finance debt process model. That's a crime. Can you see how they provided the domestic violence type of a crime? Its severity is highest, my dear fellow mankind. This is beyond the tax fraud part of it. You all got it? I'm just explaining the detailed how this behind the scenes operations will be going on. Now tell me, what is President Joe Biden going to do about this? Can you all see all along I'm displaying why exactly President Trump is innocent? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. Yes. So when I am providing all this wisdom, now you all got it why even Apple wanted to get into that Apple credit card, right? Because I educated them, right? So I'm absolutely positive all software world are in that route only, because they all know what task I provided to them, and we are all in the same page on that. And I will leave it as is. They all know what task I provided and why exactly Apple created Apple credit card. It's known to Apple, the software world, and I know, because I only provided the task, isn't it? Yes, my dear fellow mankind, that's the way it is. It's a rock solid work ethics. It's a team effort provided by only strangers. So now what, you all got it, right? So that means, let's say when this COVID-19 time frame, when people were not able to pay the monthly bills, right? Be it telephone bills or auto insurance bills or medical bills or anything of that matter, for a bill, right? So then these banking sectors must have waived it, right? They should have said, yes, population, we all know that we are all undergoing through this national crisis, global crisis worldwide. So because of that, this government of United States of America has asked the financial services to waive all the interest, waive all the late fees. So we are not going to provide any late fees. We are going to suspend all sending to the collections agency. We are going to suspend that. These are all the healthy processing provided by the government of USA until further notice. This is how the process should have been provided, isn't it? How easiest it is. It is not a rocket science, right? To be humane, it's not a rocket science. To provide healthy processing business operations, it's not rocket science. But then how these deadliest, venomous, poisonous financial services, they were tearing the people's human blood cells and drinking the blood of humans in the form of all these kind of hidden fees and late fees and interest, and also if the people were not able to pay it, they were sending it to collections. So this is all created by Dr. Fauci only, Dr. Brinks only, right? What if they never created that COVID-19 mask scam for a plague that never created? At least people would have been in the regular business processing. They never did that also. It's like almost what Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks did was to easily explain to you all. Let's say a civilian is working on a complex puzzle board. Okay, and the puzzle is almost done. Okay, it is only last few pieces he or she has to figure out to finish that puzzle, right? Now that moment, if somebody stomps on that puzzle board and shatters everything, what will happen to the civilian's brain processing? Will he be happiest, or will he get angry, or what will that civilian's brain process will do? Absolutely, the healthy brain process will get angry, right? Because it's the disaster is created abruptly. And same way the Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks provided that distraction to the human brains abruptly. That is a crime. Okay, they were busy marketing only mask, right? They should have at least provided, see the population, we are very doctors, the purest form of the doctors, we all jumped from only heaven. And we are Republicans too. So we are very holy, very perfect doctors. So beyond our market strategy for the mask part of it, sorry, we cannot provide the finance services guidelines for the COVID-19 because we are doctors, you see. We can only market only for mask, nothing more, nothing less. Right? This is what these people have done. Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks. Are they humans? You tell me. I can only wish you all can understand the severity of the crime I'm talking about. Oh, I can wish. So who educated these finance services to tear down the cells of human cells to drink the blood during the COVID-19? Is it you all? No, right? Never. We humans are born champions to love clean. Okay, did I? No. Right? I already was undergoing a lot of pain and agony. So where would I even have time? Otherwise, even then, I would not have done it. Right? So then who? Is it God? Is it God went and asked bank by bank, saying that, hey beings, hey finance services, hey telecom services, hey Sprint, hey Verizon, hey AT&T, hey Geico, hey American Family Insurance, cancel the policies. Throw the late fees into the collections agencies. Let them be tortured. Let one side there be COVID-19, one side let them be tortured in finance. Who did God? Do you think did God educated this finance population to provide that kind of a Holocaust kind of a disaster? No. Then who? Is it USA government? No. Then who? Is it USA government finance compliance officers? No. Then who? Is it United States of American Office of Commissioners of Insurance Leader? No. Then who? Who? Is it lions, tigers, animals? Who educated the finance banks to tear down the cells of humans' cells and to drink the blood of humans in the form of late fees, in the form of interest, highest interest rate, in the form of highest premium, and in the form of sending the unpaid to the collections agencies to create more emotional torture, like frying the civilians in hot oil? I don't think so, right? When God created humans, He created in love. So I don't think God would not even have had that time, the labor to create all this kind of a havoc. So who created this disaster for you and me, for worldwide, the population? Who? It is Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth too. Got it? So how much? So what more they educated? This Pope Francis educated. If at all civilians ask and begs the telecom billing agencies, please waive it because during the COVID-19, just do not listen to them, reject them, let them keep begging, throw more emotional torture to the civilians, and then the Pope Francis can pay more dollars. So that is how AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, US Cellular, they all never provided any software changes during the COVID-19 is proved. That's $1 trillion scandal, right? Y'all got it, right? Why they even threw acid on me? Because I was displaying all their crimes, isn't it? They just cannot go and fix their software errors. Just like that they cannot. And each and every single logic, it's a lot of labor they have to provide. Okay, as if this is not enough, if you go to the mortgage, then the people have to pay the mortgage, the homeowners have to pay the mortgage. So during this COVID-19, if they would have begged to the US bank or whatever bank, Freddie Mac and Freddie Mae, please bank, dear bank, see, the nation is under crisis, it's also in COVID-19, unemployed, health issues, life event changes, death, the accidents, car went down, please waive this fees for me. During this COVID-19, that will be of great help, and please do not send it to the collections agencies. Please do not start that foreclosure for me. Then the Pope Francis educated those mortgage banks like Freddie Mac and Freddie Mae and US Bank like that. Hey banks, if at all the homeowners are going to ask for waiving, just close your eyes. Tear down their cells and drink the blood as you want in the form of injustice. And Pope Francis, I am there, right? I will provide a cover-up for you. Nobody will dare to ask because it's a survival mode. And let's whisper in the ears, okay? Like that. Then Pope Francis will say, I will pay all the dollars and luxury for the US Bank and Freddie Mac and Freddie Mae. So you all don't have to worry for killing the civilians in this emotional torture. This is what Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis and all the absolute monarchs have been educating all the banking sectors. So it's a crime in 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 a crime, exponential increased crime, right? Nobody knew. People were, so one side President Joe Biden doing a scam, right? Oh, see, we are passing that 1.9 trillion stimulus package. Oh, it is going to fix the entire broken services in one day. Like that is fooling people. Right? Is he a human? And all along, President Trump is innocent as display, isn't it? So, can you all see why nobody bothered to fix this finance services provided the deadliest crime? They're still drinking human blood in the form of all this kind of a scandal, in the form of billing and payment. That's $1 trillion of crime, tax fraud, right? Every single validation hits to the tax module, the tax program. Even the calculator for your interest, it hits into the tax. If they want to provide the premium, it hits into the tax, right? So people were wondering why on there they are getting costly utility billing, why they are getting costly telephone billing, why they are getting costly internet billing, why they are getting costly mortgage billing, right? Why they are getting costly rental billing. Right. On top of it, sales tax, federal tax, state tax, and then top of it, payment types also. Each and every single payment type has the fees in it, hidden fees. $1 to $2 to $3 to $5 to $10. So this is how they strip down each and every civilians and drink the blood of civilians raw. Don't you all think I should just stand up and slap on the face of each and every single bank and handcuff them and just throw them on the jail, right? At least I'm not asking them to fall in the volcano in Hawaii. They must be happy about that, isn't it? So one side Walmart providing that kind of a hell. And other side doctors, the Department of Health Services providing hell on their end. And Department of Wealth Services providing hell on the hits end. Department of Justice is broken with criminal law, so they are providing hell on their end. All public sectors are broken one side, so they are not going to help. Private sectors are broken as well, they are not going to help. People will shout for help to Senate. Senate are kings-like mode, small kings-like mode. So they will not even bother to hear population tears, shedding tears of blood. when they are being tortured. Dear Senate, see, we civilians are getting tortured. Please hear our agony. Please hear our pain. Please, please, please. Senate will still laugh at the population who are crying for help, isn't it? That is a pathetic state USA isn't as of today in 2021. There is no human, no. Harvard Law School, Harvard Medical School is in jail. It's because of all this only, right? At least Queen of England is ruling United States of America, right? She's ruling. Do you all know that? USA is a slaved nation to Queen Elizabeth II. Do you all even aware of it? Okay. So let's come to that issue part that's still been worked on. But then, here when Queen Elizabeth II is God of USA and also Republica and perfect human and also jumped from heaven and holy, 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 and also women means caregiver and also queen like a Q word. So at least she could have sat next to the US Bank or Freddie May or any other Scotland Bank or any other bank for that matter. Bank is a bank worldwide, well, no matter what, right? She could have sat side by side and educated, dear banks, see, I am the Queen Elizabeth II. See, do you all know that I am the only one who's ruling all the nations? Oh no, this is really unfair, you see. You cannot provide these kind of crime to the innocent population. Oh no, I am Queen Elizabeth II. I will not love it. She should have educated them. When people don't know how to be human, or they don't know how to provide healthy finance operations, at least Queen Elizabeth should have sat side by side with the banking sectors and must have educated. She never did that, right? She failed in Queen's job. She failed in God of USA job. She failed in being Republican job. She failed in being white-skinned job. When they are white-skinned, they have to be pure gold. Right? When they're white skin, there should be purest form of holiest of holy, right? So she failed in all those jobs. That is a live proof that she is a deadliest prostitute, Islam, Judaism, paganism. She must never be living in the earth. She is a curse to the earth after all. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, she is the one who educated US Bank card and Freddie May, the mortgage bank, and Rental Association of United States of America, and AT&T, Verizon, right? Sprint, T-Mobile. And she also educated any billing paying agency over by phone or online to increase the payment and hidden fees. What would you all have done? Let's say for a scenario, you all are owning a bank. So let's for a scenario say there is 7.9 plus billions of bank for per head count. Okay, so let's say this Queen Elizabeth II is saying, hey, civilians, you're all got to have your own banks. But then I can throw all the luxury, but then you all have to tear down the cells, the blood cells of civilians, the population of each nation, and you all have to drink their blood raw. Then, only then, I can throw all the luxury to you all. So US Bank can be richest, Freddie May can be richest, federal banks can be richest, state banks can be richest. What would you all have done? You work on that answer, but this crime is so super deadliest, right? We never knew. Population never knows what are the hidden fees that is all involved in those credit cards and gift cards and the debit cards. What would you all have done? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. At this point of time, there are it is my understanding. If it is wrong, you just disregard. I just did the homework on my hand, and according to my understanding, I provided a screenshot with a lot of payment agencies. They might be, or they will be, the vendors for any of public sectors or in the private sectors agencies. So it is a tax fraud, isn't it? Absolute tax fraud, my dear fellow mankind. At least Pope Francis is a Christian, right? That's what he says, at least. He's not a Christian, that's the truth. But he says he's a Christian. He's a religious leader. He says always rosary, right? And he also provides the Sunday Mass also, right? He also says Lord's Prayer. That sounds like a heavenly Lord's Prayer, isn't it? Right? And he says everything, right? And he also has all his leaders in the state of United States of America only located. They are called as Roman Province Jesuit organizations leaders, right? How easiest it would have been for Pope Francis. Either he could have put a video conference from Vatican to all these Jesuits, Roman province organization leaders, to just say to them, educate to them, hey leaders, the 10 states, the state of Wisconsin, state of Michigan, state of Illinois, right? State of New York, state of New England, state of Oregon, state of California, state of Missouri, state of Maryland. All of them in New England, to just talk to the banks and just ask them, their software division, to write the code to freeze the interest rates, the tax rates, everything. Don't provide any late fees, like that. How easiest it is. Is it a rocket science? Is Pope Francis a not educated person? No, he is educated, right? He has 2 master's degrees. He has 1 master's in theology and 1 master's in chemistry, right? So what went wrong here? This, I'm proving how evil these people, the prostitutes, can be. And this is an excellent demonstration of how the behavioral pattern of prostitutes will behave. Their main core job is to fool people. And they meticulously worked out an organized, legalized processing to fool the population. Now, when these scandals are going on, can you all see why Department of Justice, whether be it civil justice or the Democrat, not the Democrat part of it, what is criminal justice, it's all broken in pieces after all. How many lawyers must have gone to the Harvard Law School in United States of America as of this moment, right? They would have kept their God-given hands on the heart and pledged first, even before starting the law school, isn't it? Oh yes, dear law school, I pledge I will never punish innocent. I pledge I will always provide civil justice. Right? This is what they would have pledged. Now, at least, why not even one lawyer? Oh, it is super, it's all surprising, isn't it? It's not a surprise. Meaning, it's a shock, right? That's not only Harvard Law School. I'm just providing Harvard Law School as a hierarchy, that's all. Every state has their own law school, right? So why not even one educated lawyer man, one educated lawyer woman stood up and slapped and handcuffed Pope Francis and threw on the volcano, or Queen Elizabeth on the volcano for this deadliest tax fraud provided? Why? What exactly went wrong? The civil justice says innocent must never be punished. At the same time, an abusive, the at fault, the never innocent must never be allowed to live free. This is what civil justice is all about. So even the real motto, I mean, motto means what? The objective of the Harvard Law School itself is crime, right? That is why they'll be sealed and shut down for being law endangerment facility in the earth and polluting human national operations. Harvard Law School, I don't think they will even start to operate. In my governance, I can only bail them out. They have to wait for me to stand up and start my job and then bail out. The crime is deadliest, right? Now, you all keep your hands on your heart and tell me why. Okay, as if these lawyers are not there, how many criminal judges must be there, right? How many civil judges must be there? Supreme Court judges must be there in state level, in federal level. Why? Why nobody knew and nobody educated these foolish, venomous banking sectors to tear down the cells of humans and drink the blood of humans? Why? What went wrong? As if one supreme judge for entire nation is just enough. Right. So there again, that is itself is another crime. So okay, there are 9 people, right, including Brett Kavanaugh, the prostitute, and Amy Barrett, the prostitute, isn't it? At least they could have stepped up and educated United States of America, the finance services, not to tear down the blood cells of humans and drink the blood, isn't it? Why they missed their job. They failed in their job, isn't it? Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Barrett, the prostitutes. This is the live demonstration of how the prostitutes will behave. They all wanted that job, power grab, and for salary. And of course, when they are in the job, they will be in the society, oh, Brett Kavanaugh, the Supreme Judge, oh, like that. For that only they are in the job. They don't know what is a Supreme Judge job, and they still got the job. President Trump will absolutely regret for it forever, right? I already said, President Trump will at least shed a tear of, he will cry, right? I would have provided excellent COVID-19 solutions. I would have sat next to US Bank and guided them. I would have sat with each and every single banking sectors in the United States of America and worldwide, and I would have provided an excellent solutions on how to provide the billing and payment during this COVID-19. So even before COVID-19 also, it's deadliest crime only. But at least the Dr. Fauci and Brink should have thought twice, thrice, forever, right? They should never have provided that crime, my dear fellow mankind. Just because they were able to they were having a lot of funds in their banking account. They never even bothered to think about their fellow mankind, how they will be tortured when they are in finance crisis, right? What would you all have done? Will you all leave if your family members are like this? Sometimes even family members cannot help, right? Because finance strain is finance strain. Everybody in the family, extended family, the friends, everybody has their own finance commitments. So it will be a temporary assistance, but then when it comes to the finance strain, everywhere it's the same, one and the same. So why? How long will it take for a labor to educate the finance services to rewrite their software services? How long? Can you all get it? Why Associated Bank laid me off? It's just one example, my dear fellow mankind, isn't it? And all along, if at all I would have been there, I would have guided them in the rightful pathways. Do you all know that? And for me, it is hurting me because I already provided the patented designing to the Associated Bank, right? At least they should have been humane way to provide $1 million salary for that. Along with that 72,000 salary, the base salary, and then for the finance lot, or they should have worked out a retirement package, same for a CEO package, and must have given me. They never did that, right? They took all my wisdom design part of it and they just laid me off. It is, they drank my blood raw. It is Associated Bank. Drank my blood raw, right? Meaning, I already provided the patented $1 trillion design to them. If you're going to do this way, it'll work fine. Pope Francis destroyed finance services. I got laid off, right? They never even thought what I would be, right? Today, this Associated Bank is in tax fraud crime, right? I'm just displaying every crime. And they have to go to the jail only. They all freaked out because whatever software services they are using and they are having, everything is wrong. Right? The federal government will say, Associated Bank, please shut down. And when they're going to say, the local community, the neighborhood, everybody will get impacted, right? When there's a huge layoff, everybody will get impacted. But what went wrong? What went wrong? What went wrong in humanity? Today, the same Associated Bank even being happiest for me, being aware, I'm true owner of USA. Beyond that, will be shedding tears of shame for crucified me and threw acid on me. So don't you all think when Pope Francis created unemployment for me, career destruction for me, it is Pope Francis must resign immediately and I, Vethapriya PROSE, must become the Vatican Bank leader now. I know how to rewrite these finance services and I can guide it in the rightful way. Why they are not allowing me to provide that healthy pathways? What is making them to provide that roadblock? It is all tracing to Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis only. And now we all got it, right? Entire employment services, the Department of Workforce Division, the Department of Labor, the Department of Labor Union, everything is garbage. Even unemployment insurance is also garbage. That needs to be sealed and shut down. After all, there is never need for unemployment benefit insurance, no. So they don't know what task they have to do. Without knowing what task they have to do, they have been providing hell after hell for the population. It's just not me alone, right? I'm getting emotional breakdown because the Associated Bank laid me off just because I displayed Pope Francis is created the destruction, right? Today they'll be shedding only tears of shame for crucified innocent I am, right? But then, only vices can be aware why God is God always, right? Why? God is God always. And yes, for civil justice, according to the Holy Bible guidelines, I must become the Supreme Judge of USA because they stole that rightful job from me, and how much of financial loss they created for me. It's just hurting for me, my dear fellow mankind. As if all these things are not enough, why on the earth the Dr. Fauci and Dr. Blinks have to create that havoc? Why? Why? So this session is all about the billing and payment tax fraud crime. Got it? It's all about the billing and payment tax fraud crime. This is separate. So before sessions, I was providing all the credit card, the gift card, the debit card scandal. That's a tax fraud crime. Now then, after when we swipe on the card, what happens? After when we swipe on the card, then the cashier in the cashier counter waits for the system to respond. Right? Then the bill is generated, and then we sign up for authorization, and when we get the bill and we walk out. Right? Now, it just looks like a simplest thing, but behind the scenes, all this complex software logics have to be written. Now, I just providing you all a very high and user-friendly layman way. That's all. Right? It's very easy. It's not a rocket science. No. It's never a rocket science to provide healthy finance services. So can you see how the entire finance operations has been broken in pieces? And why all worldwide they fear me only? And how I was only displaying the crime, and I was also providing the solutions. Right? Associated Bank lost eligibility to apologize to me, right? Don't you think so? Yes, there is innocence in the Associated Bank part of it. Because I already said they did not, it is, I just said Pope Francis destroyed the finance services, right? They don't know that I am the true owner of all banking sectors. I am the owner of Associated Bank. I am the owner of US Bank Corp. I am the owner of Freddie Mac, Freddie Mae. And beyond that, it hurts because I provided the patented design also, right? It hurts. It hurts a lot. So President Trump or President Joe Biden or entire presidents of United States of America, they were breaking their head, right? They could not all they knew was only there's a loophole in all these finance services. They just could not figure out what exactly is the root cause, right? Nobody. How many people got educated in the finance services alone? Right? How many got educated in the business school? Why nobody knew to fix this finance loopholes? It's all tax crime, tax fraud crime only. Right? Why? 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 Why nobody educated these banks to not drink the blood of humans in the form of torturing them? Why nobody educated? What happened? Why Dr. Fauci violated the medical services? Why Dr. Brinks violated the medical services? Why the 9 Supreme Judges of United States of America violated their Supreme Judge roles? Why Queen Elizabeth failed in Queen's job? Why Pope Francis failed in Pope's job? Why Absolute Monarchs failed in their Absolute Monarchs job? Why? How? What for? What is the scope? What is the objective? They are all sadistic people, my patients, my dear fellow mankind. Queen Elizabeth loves sufferings of fellow mankind. Right? These foolish people, they'll enjoy the sufferings of fellow mankind. It's a first telltale sign of how the prostitutes will operate. She is evil. She is devil. She is a Satan. She is an Antichrist. She is a Lucifer. She is Islam. She is a paganist. She is never a Christian. No. And Pope Francis is the same. And Islam leaders are the same. Netanyahu, the prostitute. Syria leader, the prostitute. Iran leader, the prostitute. How much of torture they have created out of this havoc alone, right? When all the people were mandated to wear the mask, patterns of abuse, Pope Francis stayed quiet. Abuse. Queen Elizabeth stayed quiet. Patterns of abuse. Each Islam leaders, the Dubai, the Arabia, the Saudi Arabia, the Qatar, the Brunei, the Malaysia, the Brunei Islam leader, Iran leader, they all were keeping quiet, right? When people are getting tortured, Iran is always keen on asking USA to sign up to renew that deal that was prevented by President Trump. How selfish can they be, right? Yes, my dear fellow mankind. So this session is all about the billing and payment types tax fraud. So that, can you see why Walmart is absolutely must be in the jail only? Walmart must be in the jail only. Because when they are having all their software errors on the backside, they just throw whatever crap on the front office. Meaning when we are in the Walmart cashier's front end, with whatever system is broken behind the scenes, they'll not say it out loud. If they're going to say it out loud, federal government is going to ask for Walmart to shut down. No matter what. They'll not have mercy, right? They'll ask Walmart to please shut down. Just shut down and get out. Like that, right? So they feared me, and they threw acid on me. And this robocall poverty mandate is one of the example. Right. Now don't all think because Pope Francis created me all this hell after hell after hell after hell after hell. When Pope Francis don't know what is being human. Who is he after all? Who is Pope Francis? A crap, the prostitute. Right. So when he destroyed my career pathways, stripped off my self-esteem, and the scars after scars on my face to be left to be marked at, I want Pope Francis to resign from Vatican, from Vatican, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, must be the Vatican leader now. I must be the Supreme Civil Judge of USA and all nations now. I will take care. I will rewrite everything, even the logics and the design and algorithm, everything I will do. Just let's sit and watch. Let them watch. means let the software world watch how I'll provide the design solution. They already know. They already know that I only can provide the excellent design solutions. They're just waiting for me only to provide the patented blueprint design. Right? Because a design is a design. It's unique, distinct, and talented. Nobody can steal that talent. Nobody. Now we all got it why Hewlett-Packard laid me off, isn't it? That's another crime too. And it is Pope Francis only asked Hewlett-Packard to lay me off. Right? Why I'm getting emotional? Do you want to know? I just missed the day for that vehicle insurance. Okay, then I wanted to call them, and they were having some lot of queue and waiting time. I could not reach out to them. They cancelled my insurance, vehicle insurance. Now tell me, if Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks would have sat side by side with the vehicle insurance agencies worldwide or in United States of America and educated, please do not cancel if the consumers are not able to pay it or if they miss it, just do not cancel it. How easy it would have been, isn't it? That is one of the reasons also I'm not able to go out. I do not have insurance in my vehicle and I do not want to go out. Right? And then because I was not able to pay for my phone bill, I suspended it. Okay. But then that carrier, the telephone carrier, they did lot of errors from their end. And on top of it, they wanted me to pay that bill. And that when I asked, I paid on that time, they said no, when that payment is for previous 2 months and this payment is for following months, means they provided that confusion to me, right? When our civilians, we civilians are paying the bill, we go by the monthly bill. Okay, monthly first is rental, monthly fifth is this telephone bill, monthly 8th is or 9th is the utility bill, or monthly 15th is the credit card bill. We budget. I have a spreadsheet and I use that only to do the checkout and checklist. I provide a checklist whether I paid or not. But when they are providing that kind of a confusion, it is an error on their end, isn't it? They should not even provide that kind of a confusion. And they sent that to the collections agency. And when I asked this only. It's a life testimony, isn't it? I asked, did President Trump, did President Joe Biden educated the telephone carrier systems not to provide any of this misbilling to the collections agencies? Did they educated you all? They did not answer it. They said, no, it was suspended and there's a 45-day period, and after that we'll cancel that number, and then we'll give it that number to it comes to the generic pool, and then we'll get to the anybody who's asking for that number. and I have to pay that bill. And I paid it, and I said only thing, God is there. God is watching all this injustice that's been provided by this financial services. God is there. God will take care. And that's how I provided the transaction and I left it. But I have to provide this as a life testimony, isn't it? Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks, if at all they have any bit of conscience in their human cells, they will only puke worms, right? For whatever they did. They did damages to me, right? And I want $2 trillion United States of America to provide me. If my peers loves to wear the mask, if my peers loves vaccine, it's their choice. I want United States of America for whatever damage is done to me by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks to pay me $2 trillion, $1 trillion for each. Because that way, even after the coffin, even after they are taking shelter in the coffin, they will not dare to provide this kind of a havoc forever. I never asked for this mask crap and this vaccination crap. And for creating all this crap, Dr. Fauci got $1 million. That's another crime, tax fraud crime. And that is why $2 trillion medical compensation must be paid to me. It comes, whatever crime Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks provided to me, the damage is done to me, it comes under the domestic violence, breach of duty, infliction of pain in my brain nerves, right? This much of emotional torture, right? And I want only $2 trillion. It must be only tax-free only. United States of America must write the medical compensation billing that, yes, Dr. Fauci, yes, Dr. Brinks in the year of 2019 created damages to innocent Vethapriya PROSE by mandating masks and created emotional torture to Vethapriya PROSE. And for that, medical compensation will be $2 trillion to provide the divine healing in the healing time. Because it will take time for me to heal, isn't it? And for that, I need money to help me out. The $2 trillion tax-free dollars can help me. And that is a separate billing. This is what I want to be written in the check. And United States of America must direct deposit to my bank. I do not have any time to talk to the USA government. No. When USA government knows how to be prostitute and how to be filth, I can always display why I am that I am. I know only how to be humane. If the foolish people hates being humane, that's not my job. That's not my problem. If Republican government hates being humane, it's not my problem. If a Democrat government hates being humane always, it's not my problem, right? If Dr. Fauci loves to be sadistic, it is not my problem. It's Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks loves to be sadistic. It's not my problem. I say just pay tax-free $2 trillion, United States of American government. Because when you're producing foolish people, it creates a lot of emotional torture for me, right? At least with that tax-free $2 trillion, I can use it of how to get myself healed from the wounds, from the damages done by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Prince. That is separate. But this is separate, isn't it? The telecom where I asked for is a Sprint telecom. It already created a lot of havoc for me, right? It is because of I already said, it's because of the Sprint provided that disaster. The Facebook also disabled me. So they all work together only, hand in hand, to just throw acid on my face. Today, I am asking United States of America to pay me $1,500,000 trillion. And yes, if anybody is going to shout out that I am the greediest person in the earth, I'll just pass by in silent smile only. Right? I'll ask, can you take my pain? Can you take my scars? Can you all create a new brain and give me? Right? It's never a rocket science. But these emotional torture, the Senate would not have undergone through, right? They don't have to worry about paying their monthly bills because everything is free for them. And it's the same for the celebrities also, the Hollywood people, the so-called heroes, heroines, and the villains, the supporting actors, the comedians, the stand-up comedians. They don't have to worry about this monthly bill payment process, right? So, do you all think that I should ask for tit for tat for a thing? No, right? You all know that I do not like that. I do not want that for the civil justice. I can still ask for it for a civil justice, right? I can ask President Trump to be all his banking account to be freezed and mandated to be unemployment mode and mandated to lose all his finance mode and then put him on the extreme emotional torture. And then if at all he's having his telephone carrier like Sprint or AT&T, and if he misses a bill, I can for a tit for tat ask for let him beg and let the Sprint or the AT&T say, sorry Trump, Mr. Trump, we sent that late fees to the collections agencies. You can talk to the collections agency and then let President Trump beg to the collections agency and let the collections agency be rude to the President Trump. President Trump at heart, let him shed tears of blood and anyways pay the collections amount. That is a tit for tat, isn't it? I can easily ask that for a civil justice. I don't want that. No, that's not going to help anybody. $1,500,000 trillion will help everybody, not only me, everybody, right? This is the cane I took in my hand and I'm disciplining my way. The collection agencies don't know I am the true owner of United States of America. The collections agents in the Sprint don't know that I own Sprint. I said I can file a lawsuit against Sprint and I can get $1 billion. Already $1 billion compensation must be provided for that Facebook damages done to me. That is separate and this is separate, isn't it? I was educating them, the collection agency. When organization merge, immediately the software services will not be provided, meaning it will be errored. Lot of errors will be there because the new merged means the business process modeling is being changed, isn't it? But this is how they tear down the cells of humans and they drink blood. The banking finance services, be it insurance, be it anybody. Well, so then, yes, it's 1 hour and 10 minutes. Please be patient. This is the deadliest crime. This needs to be fixed now, this moment. I asked the finance services, did President Trump, or President Joe Biden sat and talked to you all to waive those interests, to waive those taxes during this COVID-19? Did any help or guidelines was provided to the finance banking sectors? They said, your question is a good question, but we do not have answer for that right now. It's already 1 year, right? COVID-19 plague. How easiest it is for the Pope Francis to sit side by side with the retirement agencies, banking sectors, and tell them, hey, retirement agencies, see, when during this COVID-19, the population will be tortured, emotionally tortured, because finance crisis will create emotional torture. Please do not provide any penalty, the 10% penalty. If the people want to use finance, let them use it. Or provide them a loan that they don't even have to pay back, kind of a thing. For whatever amount they have it in the retirement account, pay them as a loan that they don't even have to pay. Provide it in the COVID-19 classification. Please do not ask them to pay any tax. This is what a Pope Francis, a Christian leader, a Jesuit leader, must have educated, right? He failed. He's a prostitute, right? Rather, it is Pope Francis sat side by side with the retirement fund agencies and educated. Hey, see, civilians will come and ask, because I already asked Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks to provide that scam, and they got salary for $1 million. That is a separate thing. It's between Pope Francis and the finance part. Now, this part is, whenever the civilians are going to run to the retirement agencies, retirement fund agencies, and asking for financial help, reject. Do not help them. Tear down the cells of the human and drink the blood of human. And I will provide lot of luxury. This is exactly what Pope Francis educated the retirement fund agencies. The population will shout, Senate, please help. They will not hear. Because their retirement fundings, it's skyrocketing. They don't even have to bother about anybody. Who cares more? Then the population will ask, GOP, Mitch McConnell, God of USA, Republican jumped from heaven, perfect human. Please help. Mayday, please help. His ears will not even bother to listen to the population torture, right? Sadistic. They enjoy the sufferings of fellow mankind. Then the population will turn back, Scoomer, oh, you sound so good. As if Mitch McConnell looks so bad, you look so good. Humane, please help. Even he will turn his back. And then the population will go, Congress, please help, we are getting tortured. Where only will we go? Mitch McConnell is not hearing our cries. Schumer is turning his back away. Congress, please help during this COVID-19. The Congress will also turn their back. Then the population will have to beg, House of Representatives, see, you all got elected only because people thought that you all will take care of the population, right? Please help, we are getting tortured. They'll also turn their back. Now, where will the population go for help? Presidents, they don't help. Senate, they don't help. Congress, they don't help, right? GOP, they don't help. House of Representatives, they don't help. Department of Justice, it's broken. They won't help. Department of Welfare Services, they will say, if you paid tax to Pope Francis in the year of 2019, then we can talk, otherwise get out. Then Department of Health Services, they are called fancy doctors, right? They will say, have you all paid the tax to the Pope? Oh, sorry. If you never paid tax, if you're unemployed, we doctors are doctors, you see. We said financial services not to provide any help. Sorry. Then the population will turn back to and beg to the tax agency, the tax collectors of United States of America, right? Oh, please help, please help, please help, please help. They will say, sorry, we cannot help. Why? They do not want to get into the hot oil telling that software services in tax agencies is wrong. They never provided. The one huge chunk of logic itself is gone. They never wrote that logic itself for child marriage population, for unemployed population, for people who cannot pay tax, how the financial aid will be served. They never provided that entire logic of software. It's wrong, right? So that means federal government will say, revenue agencies of all states, this moment please shut down abruptly, indefinitely. Let Vethapriya lead. Let Vethapriya guide, because she is proving her leadership in an excellent way, right? So tell me, where will the population will go? It is just me, but how many people are already sleeping on the road on the snowy day? It's okay, it's spring, even spring is a spring. Even springtime will be cold, isn't it? In the Midwestern or the Eastern, or wherever the snowy states are. So who created all this havoc? Who created this disaster? I became emotional breakdown because these workplace, it's a crap, it's a prostitution, right? That's a tax fraud, deadliest tax fraud that is going on in every workforce place. They should not be having any tax module at the first place. It's as simple as that. Now, if they cannot ask the software developers to just like that rewrite that piece of code, because everything will crash. And they feared that when the federal government is going to ask that question, and federal government will say, just shut down, right? Federal government will ask, Hewlett-Packard, okay, thank you for your services, just shut down. And they got the Medicaid, Medicare deal with the government, and they are not able to provide it beyond the software, entire software piece of code is wrong. So federal government will ask, Hewlett-Packard shut down, Associated Bank shut down, Freddie Mac, Freddie May shut down. This is what the federal government will say. They did not want that to happen. And they are happy to provide the services with broken loopholes and broken services. And it's okay for them to tear down the cells of humans and drink the blood rather than fixing it. Rather than fixing the broken software in a healthy way, it is okay for Hewlett-Packard to drink blood of human kingdom. So what went wrong in humanity? Something seriously went wrong, isn't it? Is it dollars that blinded the eyes? I already said, people working in the banking sector, they think as if the dollars, they only own the dollars. They are foolish people after all. I own them. I own Federal Bank. I own all the stock exchanges. I own all the bonds. Right? Who are these people to even provide me poverty? Who are these people? Who are these people? Right? So that means they are not allowing me to live. They won't live, and they are not allowing me to live free. And already I am having a lot of other pain and agony. It's all created by Pope Francis only, nobody else. I have a long list of bill payment display that United States of American government must pay me. That is separate billing. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this session went 1 hour and 21 minutes. But it's still worth it, isn't it? Now tell me, how many of my fellow mankind would have been undergoing through this kind of a financial crisis and must be shedding tears and praying to God for help, and the government not helping? Don't you all think this is the highest time that President Joe Biden must resign immediately? I step in, I become Vatican leader, I become Supreme Judge, I become Supreme Family Law Judge, I become Supreme Children Judge, I become Finance Law Judge, I become Medical Law Judge for all nations, and start designing one by one, immediately, one time, one side, and other side I can bail out Walmart, all the other people who threw acid on me, who are who are drinking blood of humans worldwide in the form of deadliest tax fraud, injustice, way of finance, scam. And I can also provide what more of a healthy processing can be provided. For that, I must get the job now. Why? Why they are providing a roadblock? What went wrong? Why? Can you all see this is a telltale sign of how the foolish people will always be foolish. Mitch McConnell will never understand wisdom. He's a fool. Schumer will never understand wisdom. He's a fool. Right? And this 1.9 trillion stimulus package is a garbage. They thought if they're going to talk about 1.9 trillion, that itself is a scam. Can you see? These people, they'll always not say even words. They'll always say odd numbers. $1.99, 99 cents, $1.9 trillion. Right? That is a scandal. That's a crime. So he never budgeted correctly. President Joe Biden never budgeted correctly. That's a budget crime. Shortage of budget. It's wrong. Absolutely wrong, and it's crime. He's going to pay the price. He's going to pay the price. He can think that he can fool the population. Nobody will ask, there is no God. But all I'm saying is, there is God. God is God always. That's the reason behind it, right? Now tell me, what if I had a job, or financial stable, or if, at least if they could have paid me the PROSE salary, right? Secretary of the State of Wisconsin could have sat next. I conveyed, dear State of Wisconsin Secretary, State of Wisconsin, please sit next to the President Trump, President Joe Biden, explain my situation, provide me a salary. For I'm displaying all the government errors, provide me a salary. Provide me PROSE salary. Help me. Mayday, help me. They never answered me. So, there are no humans in United States of America. It's proved. I proved that, and that's another crime. A nation cannot be proud of saying that a nation do not have any humans when they are having 300 plus millions of foolish humans. So for that crime, USA have to pay me another $1 trillion medical compensation. Right? There is no doctors yet in United States of America. We are already closing to the end of the first quarter of 2021. There is no teachers yet in United States of America. There is no lawyers in United States of America. There is no software coders in United States of America. There is no Senate. There is no nothing. Because people all got their job just to be power grab, to abuse the power. And for abusing the power, they get paid. That's all. So who exactly is a true criminal, the villain for all this chaos that's happening? So it is Pope Francis. At least Pope Francis could have sat next to the insurance, vehicle insurance agencies like Progressive. So many people are there, right? Uneducated. Or at least Pope Francis could have sat next to AT&T and Verizon and US Cellular and Sprint and T-Mobile, whatnot, and educated them. And Pope Francis should have sat side by side with the utility and should have said, please do not ask any civilians to pay for a while. Let this COVID-19 be fixed. That is the life proof, isn't it? He's a God. When he's a God, he should have stepped up. So he failed in God's job. When he failed in God's job, I'm asking, let him get resigned immediately. Throw him on the volcano. Throw him on the volcano in Hawaii. And I am the true owner of Vatican, and let me be the Vatican leader. It's okay. It's okay. All the male population, just digest the truth that I am the woman, the womb of a man. It's okay. Digest that. And enjoy how my governance will be always in heaven mode, with excellent rock solid work ethics, right? That is important. That is important. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, this session is about billing and payment tax fraud. So that means whatever billing and whatever payment agency in United States of America, in all 50 states, all are handcuffed and all must be in jail in next 1 second, because tax fraud is deadliest crime. And hidden fees, they are provided behind the credit cards and the gift cards and whatnot, it's all deadliest crime. And USA must pay back for whatever unjustly taken from the population. USA have to pay back. It is USA who have to pay the tax to the population. And that will be $1 billion compensation to be paid to each civilian, daily, forever. Let USA go crazy. They should have educated the finance services, right? So when they never educated, it's not my problem. I will say USA, pay $1 billion tax-free to each civilian worldwide, daily, forever. Until let the finance services think when they can fix their broken services. Let them think. Let them sit and keep on thinking. But you pay the rightful medical compensation for providing billing and payment tax fraud crime alone. Along with $1,500 trillion must be direct deposited to my bank account. That is separate. Right? What would you all have done? What would you all have done? Can you see why software world fears me only? They all must be in jail only now, next 1 second. Be it Apple, Facebook. Can you see Facebook thought Facebook can get away free, but then when this tax fraud logic comes, Facebook got hit. When Facebook got hit, even Twitter or whatever that comes under the umbrella, all gets hit, right? All must be ending up in jail. Will Facebook mock at Twitter? Or will Twitter mock at Google? Or will Google mock at Apple? You work on those answers. Nobody can mock nobody. Everybody slaughtered by Pope Francis, right? Every single day, population are crying for help. government is shutting their eyes, right? So when government is not doing any help, don't you all think I must get the job? So that means even the population in the government services also don't know what the job they have to do. They are all freaked out. There is no healthy leadership to lead them and guide them. That is why I should step in and I must get the job immediately. And I wish United States of American government can sign off the job immediately for whatever job I asked for. And Pope Francis must resign abruptly. Pope Francis must resign abruptly. Now tell me, President Joe Biden is at fault because he had been for long in the lawmaking services and he must have known what are the financial services also. But he never fixed it, bothered to fix it. So that is another crime, and for that crime, President Joe Biden must resign immediately. Effective now, he should be resigned. For billing, payment, finance, tax fraud crime. And with that said, I will quickly read through the civil justice. And I wish I get the civil justice immediately. I'm in absolute need of help. I'm in absolute need of finance. I'm in absolute need of a job. Right? So when nobody said, when nobody bothered to provide any kind of guidelines, then I have to provide the guidelines my way according to the Holy Bible guidelines, right? So either Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks should say they know what is Holy Bible. Either finance services like US Bank or Associated Bank, right? Or Hewlett Packard or Apple, Microsoft, Google, blah, 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 Apple, whatever software is there. They all should say they know what is Holy Bible, or they should say they don't know what is Holy Bible. Either way, I won the case. I won the case for $1,500 trillion and $2 trillion for the damages done by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Brinks to me. Who are they? Who are they to create mandate mask to me, for me? Who are they to mandate vaccination and also create mandated vaccination passport? Who are they? So $2 trillion when USA provides me is a tax-free will be an excellent civil justice. It will be a slap on the face of Pope Francis, slap on the face of Dalai Lama, slap on the face of Islam leaders, slap on the face of Syria leader, slap on the face of Russian leader, slap on the face of absolute Queen Elizabeth II. They're all prostitutes, right? Let them all get disciplined the rightful way. $1,500 trillion. Okay, so first quarter of 2021, January 2021, February 2021, March of 2021, deadliest crime is at fault, found guilty, Republican government and Democrat of USA and Absolute-Monarchs, Antichrist-Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis created billing and payment credit card, debit card, gift card, tax fraud crime worldwide. And Antichrist Pope Francis created billing and payment credit card, billing and payment debit card, billing and payment gift card, tax fraud crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. And Antichrist Queen Elizabeth II created billing and payment credit card, billing and payment debit card, billing and payment gift card, tax fraud crime is proved by I, Vethapriya, PROSE. And for I, Vethapriya, PROSE, proved scandal of Absolute-Monarchs and proved Pope Francis' Roman Empire king hero as of February 2021. Any salary, as in tax-free billions of dollars, USA government can provide effective, immediate, using direct deposit to my bank account to I am that I am, Vethapriya, PROSE, Native Indian tribe, Israelite tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, true owner of all nations worldwide, can help me. Scandal Faces of Republica, Europe nations worldwide. Republica at fault found guilty. Prostitutes of Europe, USA tax fraud, March 2021 is proved. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence. Billing and payment credit card, billing and payment debit card, billing and payment gift card tax fraud crime. Provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence. USA Republican government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence. USA Democrat government provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence. Queen Elizabeth II provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence. Pope Francis provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence. GOP Mitch McConnell provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, President Trump 2016 to 2020 and President Joe Biden 2020 to 2024 provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, Roman Province Jesuits Organizations of State of Wisconsin, State of Michigan, State of Illinois, State of New York, State of New England, State of Maryland, State of Louisiana, State of Missouri, State of California, State of Oregon provided tax fraud is crime is proved by Vethapriya PROSE. Note: Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis and billing and payment credit card, billing and payment gift card, billing and payment debit card, tax fraud, created robocall poverty mandate, enforced poverty disability to Vethapriya PROSE. On October 2018 is proved for prostitute Republican government of USA to steal the rightful Supreme Court judge job of USA in October 2018. The rightful belong to Vethapriya PROSE. Civil law must be provided now without delay. And Vethapriya PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, owned the text for ongoing civil justice sign-off. At fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, as in Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, and billing and payment credit card and billing and payment debit card and billing and payment gift card tax fraud, created robocall poverty mandate to Vethapriya PROSE, true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil supreme judge, and Republican government GOP leader Mitch McConnell, President Trump, Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in October 2018 enforced poverty mandate to Vethapriya PROSE. Abruptly on October 2018, and Republican government of United States of America took away $4,500 on October 2018 abruptly and enforced finance debt of $10,000 plus dollars since October 2018, October 2019, October 2020, and as of January 2021, February 2021, March 2021 to Vethapriya PROSE, enforced finance disability to Vethapriya PROSE abruptly. It is crime for at fault found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government and Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and billing and payment credit card, billing and payment debit card, billing and payment gift card, tax fraud, crime created, robocall poverty mandate is proved, and so civil justice is Vethapriya PROSE. Want Citibank CEO to pay off my debt $10,000 plus dollars and sign off tax free $5,000, and at fault and found guilty of fatal negligence, USA Republican government and USA Democrat government, Queen Elizabeth II and Pope Francis, and billing and payment credit card and billing and payment debit card and billing and payment gift card, tax fraud, crime created, robocall poverty mandate is fatal negligence, so must sign off tax free $1,500,000 trillion to be direct deposited in my bank account for all types of damages done by selfish cunning, Islam, Judaism, absolute monarchs types, wild endangered species and health creators, and at fault and found guilty, Holy Highness God of USA, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and Republican government of USA will provide needful help accordingly to be in the same page. So the time is 1 hour and 40 minutes, and yes, my dear fellow mankind, this crime must be fixed now. Government cannot fool the population anymore. The crime is deadliest. Right? And Dr. Fauci, Dr. Brinks provided deadliest damages, and for the damage they provided to me, I want United States of America to pay me tax-free $2 trillion. Okay, I never asked for mask, I never asked for vaccination, I never asked for this plague. There should never be COVID-19 plague at the first place, but still they created the damages. And I want United States of America to pay me $2 trillion exclusively and write it on the check and direct deposit on my bank. Okay, and yes, it is Pope Francis and Queen Elizabeth II who destroyed the finance services, and this session is a life proof. This session is a life proof. So, you all got it, right? How the crime, how the program logic operates. This is how the program logic operates. So, it comes to this particular point of the program logic, and it will check. Oh, Apple credit card, it provided the billing and payment tax fraud check. Oh, Google credit card, it provided the billing payment tax fraud check. Oh, Facebook credit card provided billing and payment tax fraud. Oh, check. Oh, Microsoft credit card or debit card or gift card provided this tax fraud. Oh, check, like that. Got it? So can you see how when one error creates the sub layers of errors? And it is a core processing, isn't it? Just by swiping alone, nothing gets transacted. It needs the billing and the payment should be provided. And that's when entire finance services get transacted, right? It's end. There needs to be an end for that, closure for the transaction. That is when we got that, we all get that the bill in the cashier counter and we walk out in the Walmart, right? We wait in the cash counter. So Pope Francis provided that crime. It's the deadliest crime. Walmart must be in the jail. Harvard Law School and Harvard Medical School must be in the jail. Now we all got it why there are no humans yet in United States of America, right? When United States of America is proudest saying they have 300 millions of humans. No. Nobody knew, right? Nobody stood up and fixed these. I am the one who is providing solution one side, I am displaying the errors one side. So I know how to fix it, but they are not providing me that pathway to provide it because the government wanted population to be fooled, always moved. That's not going to happen because I am asking civil justice according to the Holy Bible, civil law guidelines only. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.